Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Oh, yeah. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I am here with Cowabunga, Katrina. And we got Joel the Jackal.
Hey guys, what's up?
All right.
Not knock knock Katrina, since it's with a K.
Oh man,
No, because it's with a K, but you can't.
Yeah,
hear
it's
the
silent.
K, a silent K.
silent.
Knock.
So this is our first video podcast, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We have a couple of friends behind us. They decided to join. They're not going to say much, but they're
They
here.
don't say much.
Yeah. So for our first episode with video, we're going to be talking about the 2023 film M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin.
Oh man.
So corny. All right, Joel, who is a part of this?
All right, so this one stars Dave Bautista. He's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He was in Blade Runner 2049, and he was in Danny's favorite movie, Army of the Dead.
Oh,
That was yeah.
It's one of my lowest scores.
It is. It's probably the lowest score, actually.
really?
Yeah. This one also stars Jonathan Groff. He plays Eric, one of the two dads, and he was in Mindhunter, 19 episodes. He was a main character in that show. It was a pretty good show. I liked it. He was Kristoff in Frozen 1 and 2.
Oh.
And he was in Matrix Resurrections.
All right.
And then I got Ben Aldrich. He's Andrew. He is in a show called Pennyworth, which is the story of Alfred from Batman. He plays Thomas Wayne, Bruce's dad. In 28 episodes. He was in 22 episodes of Our Girl. I don't know that much about that one. And 7 episodes of Reign, Reign.
Oh,
Okay.
And
he looks super familiar, but I don't recognize any of those.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I recognize him, but I haven't seen him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the shows that I mentioned for him, but I knew the other guy from Mindhunter, but that was about it. This was written.
Kristoff.
Oh yeah, Kristoff. You know his voice.
Yeah.
This was written by M. Night Shyamalan. Ding dong.
Hopefully he's not listening.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he was, but yeah.
Yeah, but then you just made fun
Yeah,
of
I'm
his
sure
name,
that's
and then
not
I
the
switched
first
to his
time I've
last
heard
name.
that, but-
Yeah, I know. It's a hard name. He wrote Old, After Earth, and The Last Airbender. The only 3 movies of his that I haven't seen yet. And this also had 2 other writers. Steve Desmond, he wrote a short called Monsters and a short called The St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh,
And a short called Life or Breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So, and then Michael Sherman is the other writer, and he also wrote Life or Breath and Monsters. So,
A little team.
yeah, a
Okay.
little team there.
All right.
And then this was directed by M. Night. I'm just gonna say M. Night. Shyamalan. And he directed The Visit, The Happening, and Lady in the Water.
Okay.
Oh, The
3.
Visit.
Yeah,
That's the one
I like that one.
that we me and the kids tricked you into
Oh,
believing.
gosh.
We'll have to tell that story sometime, but
Nice.
yeah, it's a good story. All right. So
When we review that one, we'll
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll have to review that one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to see it.
Yeah. So, but for Knock at the Cabin, the synopsis is: while vacationing, a girl and her parents are taken hostage by armed strangers who demand that the family make a choice to avert the apocalypse.
Oh man.
Boom.
What
all
a
right.
synopsis.
Yeah. So, M. Night Shyamalan. Let's talk about him for a moment.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like he's kind of one of those directors where it's like, okay, what's he gonna do now? Like, what are we gonna get from him? He has quite a few like really good movies. He's got some duds.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like unpredictable. You know it's gonna be a unique movie. It's not gonna be just a run of the mill type of movie. You're definitely gonna remember it,
Yeah.
but is it gonna be good?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So Joel, would you say M Night is more hit or miss for you?
So I have always liked M. Night, and I've given, I think, except for the three that I mentioned that he wrote, I've seen all of those other movies that he's done.
Yeah.
I have liked more than I have disliked of his. I haven't, like, the three that I mentioned that I haven't seen are pretty much the ones, at least two of them, that are like his worst movies he's ever done. So I haven't seen those two. So I think
Yeah.
is The Last Airbender, which I heard was just horrible. Which is based on an anime
Yeah.
from people who love the anime, have said that it's horrible. It's a really bad movie. So I don't know who that movie's for.
Yeah.
If that one's not, a good movie at all. So I haven't really had any desire. I was never really a fan of the show anyway, so I had no
Right.
desire to see it.
Yeah, same here.
And After Earth had Will Smith and Jaden Smith, and I've only heard like bad things about that one too. So
That's more of a sci-fi
it's not really
movie.
horror.
Yeah.
But though, I mean, for the most part, the ones that I have seen, I have liked at least a little bit. There's a couple that have grown on me over the years. The Happening was
Village.
one. The Village was one I hated when that first came out, because
Yeah, me too.
we were both in high school when it came out, and I still remember like the trailers for it made it seem like this like really scary, like, the next scary movie.
Yeah.
And it was more of a drama than anything.
Yeah.
Which, going in with a mindset that it's a horror movie is, and having it be a drama is not good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in high school, you're expecting something from it, and you've gotten The Sixth Sense and Signs, which were two really good ones that he's done, and then a couple movies later was this one. I was disappointed in that one, but it has grown on me over the years for sure.
Yeah.
And same with The Happening. I still don't like it, but it's grown on me. But yeah, the other ones, Lady in the Water, I have, even the first time I watched it, I have liked that movie. It was his, I think it was mentioned, like his like quote unquote bedtime story kind of movie. It was like a fantasy.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it for the most part. Like it was fun. It was a fun movie. So I am more on his side than I am like a hater for sure.
Okay.
So I'll always give M. Night a shot. And on IMDb, he's got another one coming out next year too. So we're
Okay.
I think Old just came out like a year, maybe 2 years ago at this point. And now Knock, and then another one. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm a fan. I'm still a fan of his. So
Yeah. Looking at his filmography, Katrina, what would you say? You think he's more hit than miss, or
Well, there's a good amount I haven't seen.
okay?
But of the ones I've seen, there's only I think there's only the one that I really didn't like.
Old.
Yeah. Um yeah, I mean, I remember hearing horrible things about The Village, and so I never even watched it in high school. Um and I didn't watch it until later, and
Hmm.
after already expecting it to not be good, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but I went in with low expectations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think seeing that movie years after it was advertised really helped,
Yeah.
because seeing it like opening day when it was advertised as this big super scary movie,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and yeah, that's one of the biggest disappointments that I've had in a theater in my
Mhm.
entire life.
Wow. Wow.
I would
But
probably say the same
yeah,
for that one too.
but it's a good movie, you know.
Yeah.
If you're really gonna look at it for what it is, it's a good movie.
Hmm.
Marketing was very
So,
It was
misleading.
yeah,
bad.
I was
Marketing
gonna
was
say,
really bad.
so this is one of those ones that the trailer messed it up.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
give away too much. It just gave you the wrong impression of the
Yeah.
They
movie.
gave away the wrong
It,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
has a
sure.
good twist, a really good
Mhm.
twist.
Yeah.
Um, but we were like, when I saw it, I didn't care. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, who cares? This movie sucks. It's a good twist, but I don't care. Um, and so for me, I would say he's more hit. There's some of those that I haven't seen. But one that I really like, and I know he's a producer. I want to say he had more to do with it. I think it might have been a short story that he wrote or something. But Devil, I
Oh yeah.
really liked that one a lot. That one's like
Uh,
probably the scariest one that he's done, in my opinion.
I think he's a
Um,
producer. I don't know. I didn't direct it.
yeah, he didn't direct it.
I'm not sure if he wrote it or was a part of the writing
I
for
want
it,
to
but he was
say it
definitely
was
a
like
producer of it.
story. He did like the story, or I don't know. There was something he did more than just produce. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, yeah,
but I'm not exactly sure what he did with that one. But I really liked that one.
yeah. That
Um,
was a good one.
and yeah, so he's kind of like, for me, like one of those directors that, okay, as long as it's not sci-fi or animated or
Yeah,
something out there, as long as it's kind of a movie that's horror or thriller, then I'll give it a shot.
yeah.
I'll go ahead and check it out.
Hey, he wrote Stuart Little, so
That's what I was just pointing at.
Yeah, that one's pretty scary. I mean, imagine that mouse running around talking to you and stuff.
Yeah.
It is very meaningful though.
Mhm.
It really is. Did you say, is this one you said? Devil?
Yeah, story. Yep, he wrote the
Okay.
story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice job, M. Night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
All
good
right,
one.
so let's get into this movie. So, what, Joel? What was your kind of like thoughts going in, expectations or
Going in. Okay.
ideas?
I I don't know exactly because the trailer, unlike the trailer for The Village, the trailer for this movie actually did a really good job of kind of wanting like drawing you in without
Mhm.
really
It
giving
really
too
did.
much away. Um and so I had no idea what to expect from this movie. I just knew it was like a quote unquote end of days type movie with M. Night as the director. And I yeah, I really am growing to really like Dave Bautista as an actor as well from the stuff that I've seen him do. And yeah, I I didn't have too high of expectations because I had no clue what this was gonna be. This is based on a novel called
That's right.
Mhm.
Cabin at
Yeah.
the End of the World or something like that.
Yeah.
which I did hear was a very different ending for the book than what we got in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
kind of want to read the
really
book
curious
now.
what the ending of the book was. Might have to look that up.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect from it.
Okay.
It was honestly probably one of the first times that I've gone into a M. Night movie like not having any idea what I was getting into.
Okay.
And so yeah, I don't know. It just looked like a fun time with M. Night coming back as a director. And yeah.
All right. Katrina, what did you kind of go into this one thinking?
well, as we talked about during our what?
I just made a face. I don't know
Oh.
why. Okay, keep going.
So now that we have video, you guys get to see what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Uh, as you
There you go.
cheers. Okay, let me get back on. As I talked about in my most anticipated, I was really
yeah.
looking forward to this movie.
This was on all of ours.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
All of
okay.
our lists. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't remember if it was on your guys's or not.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
But I knew I was looking forward to this one. And I was mostly looking forward to it because one, I was curious about if it was a book that I had read, I think. And I was fascinated with like the story and who was in it.
Yeah.
Then I saw the trailer and I was super pumped for this because the
Okay.
trailer was great. It didn't give anything away really, but it got you curious about, oh, this is going to be a good movie. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
had that excitement of like what's going to happen, and oh, there's some action, and there's it was, I liked the trailer a lot. So after that I was like, okay, I can't wait to see this movie.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So for me, I mean, there's some stuff in the movie that I didn't expect, but I feel like the movie played out like I thought it would from the trailer.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of wish that we didn't have the reason for the strangers coming into the house in the trailer or in the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we didn't know that they were coming in because of this apocalypse and this, you have to make this choice or the apocalypse will happen. To me, it would have been more exciting just knowing that it was M. Night, Batista, and these people trying to get into this cabin, and then clips of the big waves and clips of planes falling. Like, how does that even connect with the cabin? I think that would have been a better way to advertise
In the
it.
trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not giving us the ultimatum going into the movie.
Yeah.
But
the description had it even before the trailer came out.
Yeah. So the description, like I just read, had that in there. The trailer made it clear. And then I feel like the movie played out just like that.
It did.
Yeah.
So with that, I think the first trailer did a really good job of really not giving you anything. It was all in the second trailer that, because in the first trailer, I think it ends with you have to make a choice. It doesn't say why or anything like that. It was the second trailer that like you were seeing planes falling out of the sky and you had to like the choice, like they actually explain the choices. You have to kill someone of the three of you. And so if we hadn't seen that second trailer and just gone in with the first trailer, still wouldn't have any idea. And I still, even with that second trailer, because knowing M. Night and his little twist endings, I wasn't sure if what we were seeing in the movie was actually what
Yeah.
we're going to be getting in the movie or in
Yeah.
the trailer for the movie.
Yeah.
Thought that maybe
Mhm.
there'd be some sort of twist or something like that, but
Right.
it was it. It
Let's
was
not talk about if there was
yeah,
a twist or not.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I saw that second trailer
Okay.
because I don't remember there being very much in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably just
Yeah.
saw the first one then,
Yeah.
because
maybe.
it did show quite a bit in the second one. So
Yeah. It's just that choice, knowing what the choice was and why they were coming to the cabin. I feel like
yeah,
that should have been kept a mystery, even though
Mhm.
that's in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
yeah,
Still, I feel like that's like what you're intrigued by going
yeah.
into the movie, but then to just have that given, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
So my
I
expectations were the trailer pretty much was going to be the movie,
mhm.
and yeah. So, um, so let's talk about if we liked it or not. So, Joel, overall, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought the acting for pretty much everyone was really good. Even if I don't mention this, our Harry Potter fans are going to be upset, but Ron Weasley was in this. I liked his character a lot. He was really funny. Well, I guess it wasn't trying to be funny, but he was
Like
he
funny.
was the way that he was acting was kind of
Yeah.
like
A little over the top.
yeah.
I
And
mean, it's the apocalypse, so
yeah, he's like, Gary, got it. Let's move this on. Come on.
yeah.
I liked him. Dave Bautista did a really good job, I thought, with this movie as well. And just like, yeah, everyone did a really good job. The little girl, I was looking her up, so I was going to mention her in the beginning, but this is the first thing she's been in. So for a
Mm.
first time actress, like little actress, she did a pretty good job with this too.
She did.
And yeah, and I loved how it just started out like it just look in the trailers, how you see it start out is basically
Yeah.
exactly how it starts out in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like you're not wasting any time
Yeah.
with this movie. So I thought the writing was good. I enjoyed it. It could have honestly been PG-13.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I said.
cut out a couple of the F-bombs that were in there, and the kill scenes weren't that like there was at least one that was pretty intense, but the other ones weren't really that bad. That could have kept a PG
Just
13
for
rating for it.
what they showed on screen.
Yeah, a lot of the kills were off screen. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was not his best, but certainly not his worst
Mm-hmm.
in his filmography. So yeah.
Okay. Katrina.
I really agree with Joel's synopsis of that. I like the movie. I like your point. It's not his best, not his worst.
Mhm.
It was one of his good ones. Um, the acting was wonderful. The little girl I just loved.
Mhm.
And um I was hoping for a different ending. Not that I like wanted necessarily like a different ending, but I felt like when we ended the movie, it just felt a little anticlimactic, I guess. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
That's more or less how I felt too about it. I was like, all right, well, this is what we're getting. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to go one of two ways,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it went
So
one way. So I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
All right. So for me, it played out just like I thought it would. I thought, I mean, the acting was really good. I thought the writing was really good. Um, the way it looked, the kills, I liked those too. I liked that they were off screen actually. Um, I felt like the way it was done with like the atmosphere and the tension and the build up to the kill
Yeah.
was what was really crazy. Then if you show it, because they don't show the kills really,
Yeah.
I feel like then it kind of, I don't know, it takes it in a different direction for some reason to me. The
It's
fact that it,
not.
huh?
I was just gonna say it's not about the kills. This movie's
Right.
not. That's not what this is
Yeah.
about.
Right.
So
Yeah. It
it
kind of,
has a message, has a mission that it's trying to accomplish,
yeah.
and the
Mhm.
deaths are
Right.
just like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And the build up to it is what is so unnerving.
Mm,
Then when you show it, then it's like, I feel like then it's just like any other horror movie, you
yeah.
know?
Well, yeah, and it changes the meaning of the story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so I just felt like it was more effective the camera panning away or panning to like outside the cabin and you just hear the sounds
Yeah.
and you still have the atmosphere, the music going on.
Hmm.
I feel like that was really good. I thought that was
Yeah.
a good decision.
One thing I thought about when we were talking about that was we kind of got it from the little girl's perspective
Right.
because
Hmm.
she could still kind of hear what was going on even though she was trying to cover her ears or whatever. And they had her turn away.
Mm-hmm.
And so it
Hmm.
was like we kind of got it from her perspective, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, I thought it was really tense. Especially those scenes. And yeah, I really liked it. And I tend to like movies that take place in like one location.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm. Yeah.
this one basically does. I
Mhm.
mean, there's like clips of other locations, but
Yeah.
it's not, it's like based off of what they're watching on TV.
Hmm.
And
Well, and
oh yeah, and then there's like
memories.
flashbacks too. That's right.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, and then I liked how it ended. I thought the ending added to the message
Mhm.
that it was trying to say. And I felt like if it went the other way that I think you guys are referring to, it would have sent a different message that I wouldn't have liked to see. So we can talk about the different ways that it can go in the spoilers here.
Yeah.
But for once, and this is not like me, I feel like I wanted the nice ending and not the twisted
Well, don't
dark.
give too much away.
I know.
We're not in the
But
spoil section yet.
yeah. So, anyways, it was a different thing that I wanted this time than I usually do in these kinds of movies.
Mhm.
Any negatives you guys would say that you
The
haven't
ending.
already said?
No.
The ending, yeah. You guys seem to
Yeah.
both kind of want
It-
maybe a little
we-
something more or
we'll
twist.
talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get
Okay.
to that point. But
Yeah.
there's a couple of ways it could have gone. But
Yeah.
honestly, like I didn't mind that the kills for the most of them were off screen. For this type of a movie, I don't know. I don't really have too many like negatives about this movie. It's yeah. Not I mean not that I can say right now, but we'll get there. As far as like um non-spoilery goes, yeah, I thought it was a good movie with not too many negatives, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't really think of too many, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you
I
think?
don't have direct examples of negatives really. Like I said, I was looking for a different ending. I didn't leave the theater like, wow, that was awesome. Like I didn't leave thinking, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I can't wait to do a podcast on that or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't leave the theater thinking, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
bad, like I
Painful.
did with
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
The whole wasted time of my life. Uh,
We do have a review of
so
that on our podcast, so
Yeah, we
Not
did.
with me, but you
Yeah,
guys did
yeah,
one.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put it out of my memory. Yeah, but I don't really have any negatives aside from, I mean, personally, my least favorite character was Ron Weasley.
Really?
Yeah. And not for any particular reason, just
Mhm.
I thought he was a little over the top and just
He
I don't know.
really wasn't in the movie
Yeah, he didn't really do a whole
a lot.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like he was kind of almost like a typical character, and it
Mhm.
was like he felt like he was just thrown in there to
well, he was the character that, kind of makes you think
well, yeah,
about, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed that character
Mhm.
Yeah.
for the movie.
Yeah.
For me, were
Yeah,
you done?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
Fine. Conceded. Well, I mean, he's like super funny and as Ron Weasley,
Yeah.
and so he was like not. And then
Well, he's not
Well,
wrong in this movie.
he was to Joel. Joel thought he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah. His no nonsense
Yeah, I
like
know, he
attitude
did
was
say.
like, I like that. Like it was
Man.
He's
He's
like,
like,
all right,
"All right,
we
let's
got to
get
get
this
on with
moving."
this thing. Like it's it's the apocalypse. Come on, we can't just be
That's true.
talking. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I got things to do. Come on.
I guess that was a good little line.
So for me, there's, and I'm gonna try not to spoil anything, but there's a whole process that the characters have to go through for this, for this apocalypse. There's like this whole process, and I feel like they could have just taken out one part of the process, and it wouldn't have, and it doesn't explain why they had to do a certain thing. And if they didn't do that, then maybe we could have just avoided the whole thing.
Oh,
So,
okay, I know what you're talking
so
about.
there's, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know what I'm saying.
We're just gonna have to talk about that at the spoilers.
Yeah. There's just one thing that I feel like these characters could have chosen not to do, and then this movie would not have existed. So
well, maybe that's
we'll have
why
to
they
talk
didn't
about it.
choose that.
Yeah. We'll have to
So
talk
the
about
movie
it.
could exist.
So, all right, cool. Let's give it a grade, and then we'll get into the spoilers.
Spoilers.
All right, Katrina,
Okay.
grade it. Go.
I'm gonna give it a 77.
Wow.
Right,
All right.
77. Joel,
I'm gonna go an 83.
83.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 86.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really have just that one beef with this movie that I mentioned, but maybe you guys can explain to me why it shouldn't be a beef. We'll find out.
Then will it go up?
Yeah, then it would. Yeah,
Man.
I mean, it might be a
Could be a
perfect movie at that
90.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, you already like how it ends, so it's
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the overall message. So
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna get into the spoilers.
All right, that's a decision for the spoilers.
Okay. All right. So when Katrina screams, that means it's spoiler time.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna just start off with what I'm talking about for why I would say it's a negative.
Okay, go.
So now that since it's in my mind. Okay, so there's the whole process that they have to go through. So, they show up, they tell these three, hey, one of you needs to die. You need to be killed by another one of you to avoid to avoid the apocalypse. You can't kill yourself. We can't kill you. It has to be one of you three that does it. Every time you tell us no, then basically they sacrifice themselves. One of them sacrifices themselves, and then the first plague begins. and there's a number of plagues that goes through, and it's like this huge tidal wave. There's a virus. The sky is falling. Now each time that they said no, one of them was killed. One of the four was killed. First one was Ron, or Redman in this movie.
You're just wanting to spoil it all.
Well, we're doing
We're
spoilers.
in spoilers territory, so
This is
they
not
know.
I would assume if you have seen the movie, that's when you're listening. If you
Yeah.
haven't, well, then that's just
You're
your
just
bad.
reading
You
through.
They don't. Yeah.
Well, I need to paint the picture here.
Okay.
Mhm.
So he dies, and this happens throughout the movie. But Redmond dies. He gets killed, and then it's like, okay, now the first plague starts. What if they just didn't kill him?
They had to. Like, it's-
Why? What if they didn't? What if they decided, okay, we're not going to follow this process?
Maybe it would have sped up the process if they didn't sacrifice one of
Yeah.
them. Like
They didn't mention that. They didn't
no.
address that. I feel like that's a hole in the story.
Yeah. I mean, we're like Katrina was saying, we're basically getting the little girl's perspective of what's going on. So we're only fed the information that the three of them are fed. So
But why wouldn't they
I would've-
ask that?
I would have asked something like that. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you guys have to sacrifice yourself?
Yeah. Like,
I
especially
mean, there
like
was-
after the first couple, like maybe at first you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But then when the next one, it's like, okay, I understand what you're telling me. They didn't believe it either.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that's when especially I would ask questions like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
skeptical of this. What if you just didn't do that? Then wouldn't that mean the next plague doesn't begin? Because it begins once you kill one of them.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're not given that information at all. I wonder if it's in the book at all, like that
Yeah.
information, if it's given to the readers,
Mhm.
or if it's played out similar to what we got in the movie, except some differences at the end. Because they don't say anything
Yeah.
to the audience about what's going on, really.
Yeah.
Just that it's the apocalypse and you guys have to sacrifice one of your, someone.
Yeah.
And so we're just not given that information as to why.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
what
and they
would
have
happen.
like they visioned this, right? They had this vision
Mhm.
of all this that was going to go down, and they were like kind of performing it,
Yeah.
each time that they killed one of each other in this certain way, and they said these certain things, and they put this
Mhm.
bag and all that. And it's like, I don't know, just why don't we just avoid that? But I
Why
feel
we
like
just-
it's almost like Final Destination, like, well, I saw everything, so now I'm just gonna avoid doing that.
Mhm.
Like at the beginning of Final Destination movies, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna not get on that plane, or I'm gonna get off that plane in order
But
to
then you
avoid
die in a different way.
But then what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I
it
know.
So-
ends up happening anyway.
They're just
Yeah.
doomed
Yeah.
regardless.
I know.
So,
but I think a character would think that way. Like
But
a
what
real
they-
person would think that way.
What they had said is that they have to play out this scene. They have to play all of this out in order for the world to be saved. So I imagine that they have in their head, if I don't do these things, because part of why they had to do it, they had to sacrifice themselves for this plague to happen, for them, then for the three people to be convinced that this is real,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
If I don't do this, you're never going to get convinced that this is real.
And the world's just gonna end.
And then the world's
regardless.
going to end because you're never,
So
I
the
can't
world would
keep
end
talking. Yeah.
anyway.
Mhm.
Because I can't keep talking and just telling you the same thing
Yeah.
over and over again. We need proof.
So what?
And so if you don't believe when I tell you,
Yeah.
And I ask you specifically, do you believe, are you going to get on board with this? And they say no, then okay, I have to sacrifice myself to show you
Right.
that this is what's going to happen next.
Right.
Mhm.
And I get that, but I guess that would have to mean that if they didn't sacrifice themselves to try to prove it, and the three, one of them didn't get killed, then the apocalypse would have just boom, like the world would have exploded. Like,
Yeah, because they knew that the world was going to end
yeah.
at this specific time on this specific day.
So the plagues wouldn't have
So it
happened.
didn't
would
matter
just
if the
been a-
plagues happened.
Okay.
The purpose of the plagues were to convince the three people
Yeah.
that this is real and you have a way to stop it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I feel like they didn't, and I guess
I
you
feel
got
like
it.
they
at
did
it.
explain that.
Did they?
Because he said, the plagues are going to happen, and that sorry, there was a hair. He was saying, like, is this is what we're gonna have to do to convince you. Like
Okay. I thought he was saying that my vision, the vision that we had is that these plagues happen. So why not just try to avoid those by not sacrificing yourself? Because that's what triggers the plagues.
well, the plagues
So-
happen as proof.
Yeah.
As like, okay, do you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying is real?
real.
What I'm saying is true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Batista said that over and over again.
Yeah. All right. So this is now a 95.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm just kidding. No, it's still an 86.
Jumped up 9%.
Okay, so I just proved
Okay.
yours.
Well, I'd still wish it was a little more clear in the movie because I don't feel like it was very clear, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, we'll watch it again.
I
with
do,
hearing
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I do agree that that's probably what it is, but I feel like it wasn't explained very well.
Okay, so I'm curious if we watch it again with looking for that,
Yeah.
if you would hear it more
Yeah, maybe.
clearly. Okay.
All right.
So-
So the end. Do we want to talk about what happens at the end?
Well, before we get to that, my thing was there was one that I was saying that why didn't they question it more? But now we went through all this. I can't remember.
Okay.
I had talked to you about it before.
Why didn't they question
Something.
something?
And they had questioned it once and then they stopped questioning it. What was it?
I don't know.
The apocalypse? Like why this is even happening?
No, it was
That'd be my
something
question.
about
Like, why is the world coming to an end?
why didn't
Why is it us that has to save it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That is a good question, but I mean, I don't know that they would have an answer.
Yeah, they would.
But the fact that, okay, you've seen all these visions, you've seen all this stuff. How did you not see who it was at the cabin that was going to have to do these sacrifices? Right? Like you saw even as detailed of what your weapon looks like that you use to sacrifice yourself.
Mm.
But how did you not see who the people were? Because they were so surprised that it was these people.
Mhm.
And the guy asks one time and they just brush by it. They don't really answer it.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, well, why didn't they? Why didn't
I
they know?
think that they didn't know because if they knew that there was a little girl involved, then they might not have gone to do this. I don't know.
But would they really not go in when they think this is the only way to save all of humanity?
Well, I mean that's the whole dilemma of the movie, right? So it's like, do we kill somebody to save the world because of something we saw,
Mm-hmm.
or do we risk it, especially when there's a child involved, and let it play out and see what happens? So the the fact that there was a little kid might have deterred them from going and completing the mission.
Yeah.
They were on a mission from God.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't
and it didn't matter who was there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it wasn't for them to know why they didn't see who was there.
Yeah.
It was
It's just
they only saw what God wanted them to see, and that was the weapons and the fact that the world was gonna end. That was it.
Crazy weapons. Those weapons were intense. Like some medieval stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Something that Art would make.
Yeah.
In his like little workshop or
Little,
whatever he has.
Little black garbage bag of
goodies. Put those weapons in there. Okay, so let's talk about the end and what you guys wanted. Maybe you guys wanted the same thing, maybe different things. Let's start with Joel. What were you kind of what would have made the movie better as far as the ending?
So because in the trailer we see planes falling out of the sky, it's what we got in the trailer is exactly what we got in the movie. Like there wasn't really any big surprises necessarily. We got that the world was ending, and that's exactly what happened. The world was ending. My thing, if we're going to follow what happened at the end of the movie, because when Dave Bautista's character Leonard kills himself, he says that you guys only have minutes to make up to decide who dies, and it took him a little while. Took him a little longer than a few minutes to make that decision. That's a huge decision to make, obviously.
Hey, they had hours.
They
had like a whole night and morning.
Yeah, I know. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but from when Bautista died
to that moment. And so at that point, what I kind of wanted was a darker ending where the world still does end because they took too long to determine who was going to sacrifice themselves. I was kind of hoping that was going to be the ending if that's the direction they went. Considering that's one of them did end up sacrificing themselves. And I kind of wanted, if they weren't going to go that direction, I kind of wanted them to just say no, that they're not going to do it and just see what happens. They're not going to sacrifice anyone. And I kind of wanted nothing to have happened. Like just no apocalypse actually happens. It's just these four crazy people who, were sent from quote unquote God to go and just like they're just crazy people, and like nothing actually happens at the end of the movie. But then we see on the news that planes are falling out of the sky and just like tsunamis everywhere. So I don't know how you would have really covered that part up.
Yeah.
But that I kind of wanted just nothing to have happened. Like the world just goes on as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those were my two endings that I kind of wanted to have happen instead of what we actually got. Which was just a happy ending, which is great. I like happy endings sometimes, but it was too predictable for what
but is it a happy ending though?
Well, people died.
Eric still had he was still killed.
Yeah.
All the Ford
Yeah,
people were killed.
but Eric also had the vision of, oh, you guys are gonna be, I can see her
Mhm.
bigger, and I don't remember, like he saw like this good life that they were
Yeah.
having,
Mhm.
and
That's
so
beautiful.
um,
This is like, I don't know. That's like,
It's a happy ending.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
chilling.
said.
it's yeah. I mean, but there wasn't a twist. It
It's
wasn't
emotional.
like
Mhm.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't think that she would just grow up to be a really like healthy, secure adult after what she just witnessed. I
Well,
think that
she-
there'd be a lot more trauma there.
I mean,
Sure.
and
700 planes fell out of the sky. That's a lot of dead bodies right there. On top of who
I know
knows
that
how
was
many,
crazy.
how many like people were taken out by tsunamis. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people died in this movie.
Yeah.
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 Well,
But
so I was feeling the same way, Joel. Like I wanted something different from it, where I didn't want it to just be this like, okay, so it really is just all you set it up to be. Like,
mhm.
okay. Um, I wanted a twist. I wanted something like to happen that was like either they sacrificed him and it was all just a hoax, like it wasn't actually real. The only thing was because they actually saw a plane
Mhm.
in their environment
That
falling,
could have been
then
coincidence.
that threw it off. Because I was thinking even the planes like on the TV, I was thinking maybe they would find out later like it was a movie being filmed and they like had access to
Yeah.
it and that's how they saw it, because he was explaining how like these all were pre-recorded things
Mhm.
and
Yeah, you guys knew about these things.
yeah,
You
yeah,
knew when it was going to be on TV.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted, like, I almost wanted Eric to turn around and sacrifice Andrew because Andrew was refusing to sacrifice Eric. And so him to turn around and sacrifice Andrew and then find out it wasn't
oh,
real at all.
that
You
would
know?
have been rough.
That would have
That would
been.
have been really depressing.
On
Yeah.
that though, I kind of wanted Eric to live because Andrew was already kind of like jaded from like the world, from how the world has been treating him in the past, and he's already a jaded character, and so having him kill his like Eric would have made him even more jaded of a person.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I kind of felt the wrong person died. It's just as far as like how you're going to end up raising your daughter and in this and it seems like he was already kind of a, I don't want to say hateful because like he did go through quite a bit,
Mhm.
especially in that bar scene.
Because of Ron.
Yeah, good old Ron.
Maybe that's why I didn't like Ron.
Yeah. Making him like have to buy a gun and everything like that, which
Mhm.
it made sense. I like that. I wasn't a big fan of all the flashbacks, honestly. They could have just led up to them going into the cabin instead of having to go back in time. But I did like how he got the gun because he wasn't feeling safe, like after the whole bar scene and everything, and just him just not really liking how he's being treated in life. But at the same time, it also kind of made him a jaded person, and that's definitely not going to change after he was just made to kill his
Well,
his
it
husband.
could.
Like it's just
I think it could. I think if it was fake and he killed Eric,
mhm.
then he would be extra. Like that would be
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah,
That would be
would've-
really
yeah.
bad because it would have just proven his already like
Mhm.
negative interpretations of
Yeah.
people. Because he was saying like everybody hates us, everybody's against us.
Yeah.
And then if that were to have happened, then it would have been just way like he would have just been proven.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was real, then it's like you got to kind of look like, okay, is there, some sort of higher being here, making some decisions here that,
Mhm.
and we were talking about this before,
Mhm.
that he was kind of the character that was trying to explain all these things away. He
Mhm.
was the one
Mhm.
that was like, no, they knew about this. There was already an earthquake. They, of course, tsunamis are going to happen. This is predictable. They knew this was going to
Yeah.
happen. That virus, it's been here for the last few days or whatever. They knew it was going to spread and that this, you know, show was going to show it at this time, blah, blah, blah. So
Mhm.
and then with Redmond's character, like that guy, he's the guy, they all got online and they all kind of came together like almost like a QAnon conspiracy kind of group.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so he was not believing it at all. Eric was the more religious person who would be more likely to believe something like this,
Mhm.
like Revelations, the Four Horsemen,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And so I think it would kind of change Andrew's outlook by this being real.
Yeah.
And he, because he was, he didn't believe in that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe it would make him turn a corner
Well,
rather
and
than become just more jaded.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it gives him a purpose to live a life more like Eric.
Yeah.
Because we sacrificed Eric to be able to live, so let's live a life that he's going to be proud of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I mean, it had a happy ending. It was a
yeah,
nice,
it was a happy
peaceful,
ending. Yeah.
It was
joyful
a.
ending. But
It
it
was his.
was just easy.
Yeah. It was. I mean, you got exactly what you see in the trailer is
Mhm.
exactly what happens, and that kind of thing usually bothers me because it does actually show a lot of the movie in that second trailer.
Yeah.
But I still had fun with it. I still enjoyed it. It's just I kind of wish it went a maybe slightly darker way.
Oh, the other ending I was thinking of was if Batista, like when he found out that that really was the guy at the bar,
Mhm.
and then he starts questioning, is this all real? And then he
Mm.
doesn't follow through, and everyone else starts now questioning it, and then the world ends. Like,
I mean, this
So
movie, it kind of, the more we're talking about it, kind of reminds me of The Mist a little bit with, just the internal struggles of what is this actually,
yeah.
It's just monsters outside. Is this the apocalypse? Like,
Mhm.
and then that ending in The Mist
Mhm.
is similar to the ending here. That's just a way darker ending than
Yeah.
this. So it kind of, I think you guys are liking The Mist ending more than the way this ended.
Well,
I don't know if you've
I
my
haven't
seen The
seen it.
Mist.
No.
so I think Katrina went slightly darker because one of my endings was that none of them die, none of
Yeah.
them kill each other, and nothing happens. The world doesn't
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
You're saying
I
one
did
of them
think of that.
kills, one of them shoots the other, and nothing happens, and that's a slightly darker ending
Yeah.
because one of them had to sacrifice himself for nothing.
Mhm.
At least in mine, all three of them live and nothing happens. But I also did want, the world to actually end because they took too long to decide after Leonard dies.
Mhm.
But I just, yeah, I thought for a second that's where they were going when they were showing the TV because it was still showing for like a second, planes still falling out of the sky. So it's like, oh, nothing
Mhm.
happened, and then suddenly, oh, the tsunami calmed down, and
Yeah.
they're like finding like people, they're finding people in the rubble and everything like that.
Mhm.
So that did have that sort of happy ending, but it's a happy ending that we didn't really feel anything for because we saw it on TV. Like it wasn't something that
Yeah.
was necessarily happening to anyone in the vicinity of the area. It was just on the news, so it's like, okay, that's there's no emotional connection there between anything going on. So
maybe if there was like this crazy big fire or something like in the woods,
Yeah. Well, they
it-
did burn down the cabin.
That did happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
but it like if the fire then ceased,
Mhm.
like, so they were
Just all of a
at
sudden-
immediate threat,
Yeah.
and then Eric dies and then the fire stops, or something like that.
Well, no, the fire, that's another thing I thought they were going with the other ending, because the lightning struck the cabin the tree fell on the cabin after Eric died.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, okay, well, maybe they're
Mhm.
maybe we're still going with this apocalypse, and then no, it's over. Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of
Cool.
random.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why destroy the
cabin's
cabin?
on
Like, what?
fire? Okay.
Yeah.
That was random. Yeah, maybe it was like, okay, this is and then he died, and it's like, okay, well, it's too late. This is already happening.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna go further than that.
Yeah. So,
all right. So yeah, I think this movie can be debated, and I think we're gonna have different points of view. I think we all liked it though.
Mhm.
So yeah, is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
I think
Okay.
that's it.
This has been Scare Talk.
All right. So yeah, thanks for watching our first video. You gotta hit that like button and that subscribe button.
Exactly.
I'm one of those people.
Yep.
So yeah, get
Wait, you have
alerts.
to point down, subscribe.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop a comment down here. I'm gonna put a little card up here.
A card.
Yeah,
for other videos,
for past episodes or whatever, they'll put like a little, if I mention a movie or something.
Although this is
we reviewed that one. Look,
You're gonna have to actually edit it to get
I
those
know.
things.
That's the thing.
I'm just saying subscribe.
Subscribe over there, comment down there, and like it over there too. And yeah, that's it. This has been our review for Knock at the Cabin, and this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let M. Night bite.
Don't let the apocalypse bite.
Yeah. Oh wait.